What's happening? We are back for part two. Love the reaction that you gave me for the previous videos. So I decided to make part two unedited. And this is when I built a company in literally 8 minutes using ChatGPT 01 preview. So as you can imagine, if you build a company in 8 minutes, you're not going to absolutely crush it. It's going to be imperfect. And so what we're going to do is take things to the next level. Once again, this is completely unedited. I did not mess with basically the chat thread. As you can see here at the end of it, it's literally the same as I left in video one. If you did not see video one, go back and check that. But before we waste any more time, I want to get right in this so you can see it. This took me, by the way, this is delayed about a week and a half from when I recorded the first video. Part of the reason because I was at Dreamforce learning about agents all last week. And so I wanted to get this though as soon as we get back. So just as a quick recap, one of the things that I did is create a revenue team or a sales team from scratch, identified the goals and the strategy and the average deal size, as you can see here, did that. And then after, on top of it, I also asked, like, how much capital do I need to have to make this happen? Give me ideas for sources specifically that I could use, right? And then we created capital requirements. So of course, you know, there were some smart asses in the comments, like, you didn't build a full company, right? Which is true. I did not build a full company, but I wanted to give you an example of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take things to the next level and keep building and see what happens. All right. So let's go back. This is the results from the sales org where we have everything from sales cycle calculations. And once again, this is the new advanced strawberry reasoning model. So we're going to go back. And as you can see here, it's got a lot of different areas, comes to the conclusion and next step. So what I'm going to do is say, okay, cool. Let's create. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to say, okay, awesome. Let me move this here. I don't know why this is right. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Help me create a 90-day plan. As you can see, I'm terrible at typing. 90-day plan to execute these next steps. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to structure this and basically paste in what it said are the next steps for here. So I'm really curious to see how this maps out. So we're going to do this first on the sales side, then we're going to do it on the funding side, and then we're going to go into some other areas. So while this is building out, as I can say, like I told you, this is walking through, and I don't think we went through this last time, all the reasoning. So it's mapping the strategy, it's building a roadmap, it's establishing CRM foundations that I've never seen that before. It's setting up systems. Okay, so boom, it's starting to actuate now. All right. So as it's going through here, we got days 1 through 7. We got finalized hiring plans. We got implement CRM systems, day 8 through 14. And I like how it gives examples. Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho examples. Okay, now we got recruitment for week 2. This is really good, especially if I'm like literally looking to create a product roadmap for what I'm doing with my organization. This is really good because it breaks down big, complex projects into tactical execution plans. Okay. So it's got that for phase 2, conduct interviews, make offers, KPI tracking, onboard new hires. Okay, so it's got that in week 7. Love that. Now it's talking about marketing and lead gen, continuing plan and develop, and then phase 3, start. Okay, I love that. So it's not even saying basically get the hired up in about a month and a half. Then we got weeks, week 11. Okay, so we're already enhancing things in week 11, and then strategic planning for next quarter. And I love this. It's got a milestone summary, which is pretty cool, ranging all the way from recruitment to SOPs launch, and then communication plan, risk management, which is good because it's hiring delays, market changes, backup candidates. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So now what it's doing is basically identifying another set of next steps, right? Now, I was going to go through and do that, but I don't want this to be all about just creating a sales org. So one of the things that we had here is for the funding aspect of it, right? So let's finalize this and let's give them an example. Like we could identify different structures. I'll say, okay, now let's execute the next steps for funding. Let's do this. The one thing I want to add, and let's say I don't want to do VC. Okay. I'm going to put assume I only want angel investors, PE backed, or crowdfunding. All right. Which I have no idea what the heck's going to happen because I've never done it like this before, but we'll see. All right. So let's let it roll. Let's see what it says. All right, as we go through here. Sorry about having the screen recorder. I know some of you were asking too. The tool that I'm using for the screen recording with the floating head, where this is me bouncing around, right, is Loom, actually. So super easy. Love this tool. It's really good for creating quick, actionable videos. Okay, so now we're at over here. So it's got an executive summary, finalize detailed budget, gather competitive data, budget figures. All right, funding strategy for weeks 3 through 4. Timeline, responsibility. It's analyzing it, which is pretty cool. Financial advisor. I don't know if I like that. Potential investors and platforms, funding timeline, and then phase 3. I like this. Okay, prepare pitch materials, conduct legal review, reach out to angel investors. So the way that I would use this to create this and actuate this, I would copy this, put it on a separate doc, and then use ChatGPT 4.0, right, for the tactical plan. So think of this as like your executive summary, your PhD level assistant, if you will. And then you could use that for more like tactical, right? So we're stacking different LLM models based on their strengths. Okay, so it's got a lot of different areas. Okay, it's got the milestone summary, which I love as well, communication plan, legal, and then it's got next steps and recommendations. Okay, so one of the things I want to go through that I don't actually have, which was an oversight on the first time, I was trying to get it out as soon as this got released. It's like, okay, now help me create a founding, I should say a team of founders to help me, right? So what I'm going to do is say, okay, I have a high D and I personality, for the DISC profile. My expertise is in revenue growth, in sales, and organic marketing, right? So let's just use that. I need a co-founder with an expertise in AI agents and machine learning to create a product built, let's do this, on ChatGPT 4.01 advanced reasoning model. Okay, so let's see what this comes back with. And like I said, I have never tested it this way. I don't know, have no idea how it's going to evaluate personnel or potential founders that I could have as co-founders to go with me. And so it's really interesting to see what this is going to output. Let's see what it's going through in terms of like how it's making this decision. Okay, so creating a collaborative team, creating a founding team, balancing team skills, evaluating it, crafting a strategic plan. Like these are pretty good steps that you would want to take. And so this is going to be a really good, if you think of it, strategic planning expert to bring into anything that you're doing. Okay. And so I think this could be awesome. It's still creating the plan. I wonder if it's going to add any other steps. Take a quick sip of coffee. And like what you're seeing here, this was talked a lot about at Dreamforce, but agentic behavior. So agentic behavior is where you just kind of identify the goal and the outcome, and it goes through multiple steps and logic to make that happen. And that's why Sam Altman had this as step number 2 is advanced reasoning, because you can't have agents running around doing multiple different tasks, talking to multiple different systems, if effectively they are not very good at reasoning, right? Because like they're going to just scale garbage or scale crap, if you will. So this is taking a little bit longer than I thought. So I don't know if I'm pressing it. Maybe it's because it's not something that's black and white. Okay, here we go. It's building out. All right, so it's got an executive summary. It's building really fast. I'm gonna go back up here. So sorry for this. Okay, so it's going through my strengths. Okay, identifies my gaps. Okay, my gaps is on the technical side. Makes sense. All right, so I'm gonna want a CTO co-founder, and then it's talking about other ones, maybe CPO, COO, right? The interesting is it's got familiarity, software development, soft skills, strategies. Okay, I love that it's got this with how to do it. That's really critical. As you can see here, it's like, how do I find the right co-founder? And this is advice that I've gotten from other folks like on my podcast, like CEOs and what they've done. So that's how I know this is good. It's got platforms with like matching sites, which is great. On top of it too, existing network, screening, cultural, legal, balanced team, mission, vision, begin the search. Okay. So then what it's doing is like, okay, define your vision and mission. So you can have someone who's attached to like the outcomes that you want and the big North Star that you want. Detailed co-founder description. I love this. This is like these next steps. Like I want to keep going down deeper on this. So why don't we do that? Because like, I know we covered the sales side, and let's say, okay, go ahead and create a 90-day plan for me to execute your next steps. All right, let's see what it says. So now it's going through that. So we got define your vision, job description, multiple channels, evaluate and select the best co-founder, and then finalize the partnership. Okay, so it's going through that, and it's got started with the executive summary. All right. Okay, and then it's breaking it down into tactical day-by-day tasks, which is good because it's like, okay, start with the problem, proof of concept, detailed job description. I mean, you could probably do that in more than 1 week, I would think, right? So you can compress some of this too. But I like how it's saying, it's like, okay, do LinkedIn this day, do online forums this day, do different events, phase 2. I thought this was interesting. So engage with the academic and research institutions. That's pretty cool. Which I wouldn't have thought of this, like, right? Reach out to professors, post the opportunity in university job center, which is like, that's like super sharp because a lot of the founders I've talked to on my podcast, they met at business school. And so this could be a really good opportunity to identify that. Okay, then it's same thing, social media. So I could use that because I do have a pretty good network on there. Evaluate technical skills, trial collab projects. I love that. Final evaluation. So it's got like a testing element, which is perfect, right? Okay. Legal and financial with equity. That's smart. Cultural fit and values, risk management. Next step. Okay, so it's got that just with the recap. All right, so I could keep going on and on with this. I think I'm gonna break the video here, but effectively what we've done is we went deeper on all the items that we had for sales and then in terms of funding, right? So now we have a 90-day plan for both of those. Now that the other thing that we also have at the same time is we're running like 3 concurrent 90-day plans. One is the co-founder, one is the sales, and then one is the funding. The most important piece that we forget about is, okay, now help me ideate on the product that will be amazing for my skill set and domain expertise. All right. I just said I was going to cut it, but I kind of lied, right? So let me hit this one up and see what it says for this. And then we'll probably wrap up after here. This is a little bit longer than I typically anticipate, but we're missing the most important part, which is product. So I would not feel good about myself if we just let it go basically with no product, right? All right, so let's go back up here. Okay, AI powered sales enablement platform. Interesting. Alignment. All right, yeah, aligns there. Intelligent lead generation and qualification system. Mining data, lead scoring, organic market. Okay, so it picked up on that. Personalized AI sales coach. Natural language to evaluate sales conversations, market opportunity, market intelligence platform. So some of these are pretty good. So like, agents to aggregate data from news, social media, and financial reports. Competitor. I mean, like, I like that one. I think that one's pretty sharp. There's not a lot that I've seen on that. Automated content marketing system. There's a lot in there, but not specific for salespeople that need to create content. AI-powered customer relationship management enhancement. That's kind of interesting. Predictive sales. So this is like stacking on top of the CRMs. Virtual sales event platform. I'm not a big fan of that. There's tons of those out there. AI-based customer success platform. Once again, there's a bunch of those as well. The thing that's really interesting about those is, and then we got recruitment, personalized AI networking system. That's pretty interesting. I like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now it says prioritize, leverage co-founder, align with strengths, secure funding and resources. And okay, cool. And then next event recap. So just to summarize this, all right, so we added that product part. We can go a lot deeper on it, but ideally we're trying to find that co-founder to help build that out.